film critics, Roger Ebert, Siskel Ebert, Chris Stuckman.
I grew up with.
These men have not only helped shape the way that we view cinema, but perhaps even the world around us. However, I am of the opinion that all of these luminaries pale in comparison to a critic who has, as of yet, languished in obscurity. An untapped talent who I have the sole privilege of having discovered. This man's name is Michael J. Sanchez. If you're in doubt of my boy's acumen as a film critic, look no further than his review of Little Bear 1995 Season 5.
Maurice Sendak's Little Bear is 100% boring, and it isn't as good as I remember. The only saving grace of the show is the sandcastle episode. I think that Destination could have worked if the episode actually featured Emily in her swimsuit.
For the uninitiated, Emily is 7 years old. Take for that what you will, moving on.
The worst episode was about Little Bear and his family taking care of a baby raccoon. Little Bear was out of character. He didn't even want to pour syrup on his pancakes. Worst episode ever. I'm going to have to give Maurice Sendak's Little Bear a 0% failway rating and the Animat Seal a fail.
It is worth noting that 2 years after its initial publication and during the process of my script writing, Michael has updated this review. Now, for whatever reason, he views Little Bear 1995 Season 5 as 5 out of 5 stars. Regardless, after that, I'm sure you're all thinking the same thing. Who is this genius? Well, I actually don't know. I've tried Googling him, and unfortunately, this guy dominates all the Google results. To provide a little backstory, I am a massive fan of reading film reviews. And no, I don't mean anything published by the New York Times or posted to Letterboxd by some film bro. I am a man of the people, and as such, I like user reviews on Rotten Tomatoes or Google.com. I first stumbled upon Michael J. Sanchez while reading reviews of Bill Murray's 1988 Christmas classic, Scrooged. Here's what he had to say.
Scrooged is not a great movie of 1988. The cast performance is too terrifying for the target audience, has too much profanity, smoking is not allowed, booze should be banned, and worst of all, the cast could not keep their emotions in check. The voices are irritatingly annoying. I could not stand their annoying, terrible voices. I'm super sorry. The character voices sound like nails on a blackboard, even though that you want to go get some Chinese food element was spot on. You know how popular Chinese buffets are way back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s onwards? Chinese buffets then were the best in those days. LOL retrostalgia. Don't let families watch Scrooged 1988. It's unwatchable for all ages. If you want to see the message of Scrooge done right, I suggest you read the Kim Possible Christmas fanfic Scrooged. It's 101% better, trust me. This 1988 gets a 0% failway movie rating and the Animat Seal of fail. If you want to watch a good Christmas Carol adaptation, I suggest you watch The Muppet Christmas Carol. It's got anachronisms.
Apparently, the Animate Seal of Fail is in reference to the YouTube channel Electric Dragon 505, which has 150,000 subscribers, has posted over 1,000 videos, and has been in operation for about a decade now. I had no clue about this channel, and upon discovering Michael's videos, this went completely over my head. I do want to make it known that while I do hold up Michael as a god of film analysis, I wholeheartedly disagree with his review of Scrooged. I believe it is probably one of the best interpretations of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Story ever put to film. And in fact, I own it on VHS. Here. Regardless, I was instantly captivated by Michael's stellar review. I had to read more. Upon clicking on his profile, I was elated to see that he is extremely prolific, having published more than 140 reviews within the last 3 years, and is still active to this day. One of the things I think I like the most about Michael's style of review is just how much we're able to glean about his personal interest. For instance, would you be surprised if I told you that Michael was a massive brony?
Meet the Robinsons taught me about getting revenge on bullies and correcting my past. For example, Lewis Robinson woke up his roommate. His roommate caught the ball and won the trophy and made the team. Oh, his roommate got adopted? Lewis Robinson also got adopted by the Robinsons. When I work on my auspicious, ambitious Equestria Girls, Equestria Boys, Rule 34, Rule 63, crossover, collaboration, Sumo Dojo mods, fan project onwards to keep moving.
Equestria Girls is referenced in 5 of Michael's reviews, including his review of Hocus Pocus and Downton Abbey. Because, well, why not? However, this special pony interest pales in comparison to the second interest mentioned in Michael's Meet the Robinsons review. To get a better understanding of Michael's body of work, I've compiled all of his reviews into a single Google Doc so as to search certain terms. Through this process, I've discovered that in almost 44 pages of content, Michael references the word sumo 62 times. You see, Michael has a strange, often sexual obsession with sumo wrestlers, and particularly the sumo wrestler loincloth known as the mawashi, which is referenced by name 10 times across his entire catalog of work. Case in point, his review of Witches 2020.
The Witches 2020 is phantasmagorical. What I like about this movie, true to the text with a family-friendly slant and a family-friendly twist. The Witches 2020 inspired my anime sumo mode Western anime sumo mode Avatar Sumo Universe, aka Avatar Sumo, turning sumo chef. etc in which topless, half-naked, bright, dark, colorful mawashi uniformed, bare-handed, bare-feeted sumo wrestler lesbians, female transformed sumo families into topless, half-naked, bright, dark, colorful mawashi uniformed, bare-handed, bare-feeted sumo wrestler chefs. Without the mouse transformation issue. I highly recommend The Witches 2020, which is truer to the text than the 1990 film.
I honestly couldn't figure out what the mouse transformation issue is, but I do imagine it's a big problem. I have, however, concluded that the Yuleverse is some sort of Christmas world that our lesbian sumo wrestlers occupy. This is, of course, a little inconvenient because I would imagine the weather of such a world would be less than ideal for being half naked. By the way, I would love to read some of Michael's fan fiction. Unfortunately, all attempts to locate it have turned up nothing. If you're some kind of internet sleuth who can track this down for me, I will reward you with an unlicensed movie t-shirt of your choosing. I'll flash a few of them on screen just to sweeten the pot. As I've stated previously, I have not been able to find out much about Michael. However, through reading his reviews, I've come to the conclusion that he likely grew up in the 80s. You see, Michael is obsessed with the concept of a feature-length commercial, or sometimes referred to as a feature-land commercial. In the 80s, more than ever, the line between advertisement and media was blurred. He-Man, Care Bears, G.I. Joe. These are all shows, but they primarily exist to bolster existing toy lines. Michael has an extreme affection and nostalgia for this format of media, which is perfectly highlighted in his review of Mac and Me, 1988.
Mac and Me 1988 is my favorite feature-length commercial alongside The Wizard 1989. Mac and Me 1988 is my favorite E.T. rip-off that I will always cherish, especially the McDonald's dance scene. One even practiced the McDonald's dance scene from Mac and Me. It's my #1 favorite dancing of the 1980s. Mac and Me 1988 inspired me to do a fan-made Planes, Trains, and Automobiles Musicalcom feature-length commercial fan series rip-off titled Planes, Trains, and Accepted. Featuring Ozell Sodas, Ozell Colas, Geico Cola Soda Shop Sodas, Pepsi Cola Soda Shop Sodas, Enya Cola Soda Shop Sodas, and even First Orders restaurants as fan-made product placement. The car rental scene and You're Driving the Wrong Way are eliminated out of respect for passenger cruelty laws, and a B story you have the First Order Girl Scouts from Disney's Fillmore performing an act of kindness instead of getting their cash stolen.
Michael is extremely enamored with this form of elaborate product placement. The concept of a feature-length commercial is a mainstay in many of his reviews, and he often suggests that films would be improved had they been created with the intention of selling a product. At times, he even suggests that seemingly innocuous films may be such marketing vehicles. For instance, he uncovers one such case in his review of Trading Places 1983.
Trading Places 1983 is long overdue for an Ealing comedy happy pasta musical Fanamai mod in Happify Fun Places. As a feature-length commercial for Colonial Ursa's Realm, Colonial Ursa's Realm cornering the African-Asian fast food market, cornering the Chinese fast food market, cornering the Japanese fast food market, cornering the Thai fast food market, and cornering the British fast food market on soda fountain sodas of epic majestic proportions. I'm going to hit the gong and rate this Christmas classic a Happify good movie rating. Also remember to add topless barefoot schoolgirls in topless barefoot moms to the mix.
For full disclosure, I haven't actually seen this movie, so Michael may be correct. Also, fun fact, the word topless appears 11 times across Michael's body of work. You may get the impression from the excerpts I've chosen to show you that Michael is primarily interested in reviewing children's media. And while that does make up the bulk of his catalog, Michael is a veritable juggernaut of film review, having reviewed such films as Goodfellas, THX 1138, Dune, Shadow of the Vampire, and Phantom of the Paradise. I would share these very insightful reviews with you, but part of the fun of Michael is reading on your own or with a friend. In the description of this video, I'm going to share Michael's Google profile, and if any of this strikes your interest, I would suggest exploring on your own. I will, however, leave you with this very entertaining review of Lazy Town.
I disdain Lazy Town for good. The only saving grace is Robbie Rotten, because he likes to eat junk food and exercises off his junk food and loves drinking a Pepsi-ish fem soda. I don't call him Robbie Rotten anymore, I now call him Robbie Relief. Because I am proud to be an XP of Robbie Relief. I like eating junk food, sumo training, exercising off my junk food on the condition that I attempt a British received pronunciation accent impression. I give Robbie Relief 10/10 stars, while I give Lazy Town franchise a 2 thumbs down for hubs down and a 0% criff you failway TV show rating. If you want to see the message of not being lazy done right, I suggest you watch Sodo Pony Railway Adventures on YouTube.